It
would just be like this.
That church, we had a Benton County Sheriff. He does our security. Why were they all out? So, I mean,
So you guys will.
what was it? Like all. They were all out here waiting.
Leaving stinky boys in the dust. Speaking of.
Brian says he can't.
It wasn't a funeral. That's what it was. Oh. That's not something. Over there.
Obviously, we're good. We could just turn the utilities on. She's like, oh my God. She thought she was done, huh?
Yeah, she did. She was like, what did
John do, what did you flip on? I flipped it on to make sure it worked. I'll flip it back off. Yeah, we hadn't expected it. Can't leave it on.
Oh, really?
I flipped the breakers to make sure it worked, but I flipped them all back off.
Would I still be able to do the minutes?
Basically $200.
Alright.
Yeah, mate.
Literally could not.
I've seen.
We've done it before.
Depends on how new.
I've done it on 5 gallons.
I don't hate this.
5 gallons. You know.
Scan.
Hello, how are you? I am well. My neighbor is on fire. Sounds like it is. You know yet. Implosion again. When I was
The city of Benton. When I was. Did you happen to see that email? I know how this.
I saw you sent something, but no, get mine.
He didn't say which line you're in either.
Oh, yes. Be like.
I said you didn't say which line he was in either.
Yeah.
Yeah, not right.
He's in the priority line, but yeah, there's a couple city dates.
I guess on the phone.
So. Another step.
Now.
Spent like.
There's your name and everything. Remember.
Bye. For nearby. To you to have to do all that.
Do draft one?
Oh, good. Sure, just a bit that here reflects.
It's like.
Away. I think let it be old brain.
Straighten it,
Have them go back and forth.
straighten anything out, but
Magic of the cure.
I'm saying straighten.
Okay, you did it today?
Well, that's not. But civil site, all in the engineering department.
Oh, everybody, it's a. Fire truck.
Posted. If there's any truth to it.
There's a bunch of.
That's what I.
You know, it's. Let's say, you know.
Find out from Bentonville, it's like, it's getting straight.
Yeah, I say Tuesday, I probably let this. It smells.
What was the be consented?
The guy operates.
Usually, then if we need to make anything. Alright, where are we?
Did you send me the bid? Smell it too.
All day.
Saying.
I sent them, they had their price on it.
So that way. Up here.
Here's the price to do the work. That was
Well, I mean, but on the bid sheet, they want the work. I mean, I can't speak. Here's.
Trying to under, you gonna cost them. Gonna cost them gold.
Oh, what we're contracting.
Doing lap.
After an hour.
For a sidewalk, bro.
It's a.
What is it?
Middle of the road. I was like, oh, they're that.
Yeah, side.
Wet food stuff.
They do it.
Once it's basically.
Guy had it, but she had to do.
So they.
Not like, I'm ready before long, I'll start. That's fine. I was just to be offended, but
Year after us.
That's what.
Dude, what?
You guys ready?
No, sometimes, sometimes.
You guys ready? So moved. You ready? All right, we'll go ahead and get started this evening with the City of Center Planning Commission meeting, June 2nd, 2026, with a roll call
Jeff Sci-Fi,
here.
Joey Engel, Tony Davis, Craig Langford,
Here.
Ben Lewis, Devin Murphy,
Here.
Curtis Ramsey,
Here.
John Sessom,
Here.
Brandon Kubota.
Here.
Before we get started this evening, I would like to ask for a moment of silence for Captain Christopher Kelly, who is the city we lost this week. Thank you. All right, first on the agenda this evening is if you guys will sign in for us, please. There's a sign up sheet back there. First thing on the agenda this evening is the approval of the minutes from our meeting of 5/19 of 26.
John, I'll motion to approve the minutes from 5/19/26.
Second.
Motion and a second. Is anyone opposed? All right, next on the agenda is the ratification of the admin approvals. There are 5, all home occupation businesses. Looks like some admin and office use, bookkeeping, online only with some purchasing and resales, some admin use, and some services. Any questions or comments from any of the commissioners or staff on the admin approvals? If not, then I would entertain a motion to approve those.
This is Tony, make a motion to approve the ratification of administrative approvals.
John, a second.
Motion and a second. Is anyone opposed? All right, old business, these items that were tabled have withdrawn. And so we will see them in the future. And then we'll move on to new business. Under new business this evening, we have 3 public hearings. And per our discussion at the last meeting, we will open the public hearing and then we'll have the applicant and then staff and then time for comments and questions from us. And then we will entertain questions and comments from the public. So the first public hearing this evening is conditional use 2608, which is a short-term rental at 811 Reading Railroad. It is zoned R3 single family. It's lot 331 of Featherston Village, phase 2. And so with that, I would entertain a motion to open the public hearing.
John, a motion of public hearing for conditional use 2608.
Second.
Motion and a second. Is anyone opposed? Thank you. Sir, if you'll sign in, sorry, I made you come all the way up here. If you'll sign in the back for us, please, so we have record of that. I appreciate it. The applicant here to give us an overview.
Hi, everyone. I'm Candace May. I'm the owner of 811 Reading Railroad Lane. I've worked at Walmart for 21 years, and I'm seeking approval for a short-term rental. I am planning to have a very strict no party policy and also have very clear house rules. Thank you so much for your consideration.
Thank you. Christian, would you like to give us a staff overview?
Yes. For this conditional use, the applicant is requesting a permit for a short-term rental. The 0.07 acre property is located at 811 Railroad Lane, lot 331 in Featherston Village, phase 2. Per the applicant, the short-term rental will accommodate up to 6 guests. The home is 1,250 square feet, consisting of 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, and a 2-car driveway. There are no structural changes proposed. Quiet hours of 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. will be observed. No parties or gatherings will be allowed. No on-street parking will be permitted except in available guest parking across from the property. That will be notified of requirements in the listing and through posted information within the home. The zoning of this property is R3SF. which is intended for detached single-family dwellings with a suitable lot area, and those setbacks are in your packet. Surrounding zones and uses, the property is surrounded by R3SF in phase 1 and 2 of the Featherston Village subdivision. The home is connected to Centerton Water and sanitary sewer. Access and parking, the property is from Kimmel Road to the north and Womack Road to the west. All streets in the Featherston Village subdivision are private streets with no sidewalks. Pedestrian trails are located at the rear of the interior lots and within common areas. The existing driveway provides 2 spaces. No on-street parking is allowed within the subdivision except for in various designated guest parking, some of which is available across from the property. Property management and maintenance, the property will be managed and maintained by the property owner. The covenants for Featherston Village do not prohibit leasing or renting property within the subdivision. The rental agreement shall comply with all applicable laws and zoning requirements. For term of approval and or expiration, the term of approval is recommended for an indefinite period of time from date of PC approval. Approval of this use permit expires upon discontinuation of the approved use after 1 year and will require reapplication and reapproval. For PC consideration, the applicant has requested an indefinite period of time. The home will also have a mounted fire extinguisher, and there are more general conditions listed in your packet. At the time of this report, there were not public comment that we had received through email.
Thank you. You don't have to stand the whole time. I didn't stand. Is the indefinite time, is that consistent with the other ones in that?
It is.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments from any other commissioners? If not, we are open to the public. If anyone has any questions, comments, in regards to the request for a conditional use for a short-term rental at 811 Reading Railroad, we ask that you come to the podium, state your name, address, and any questions or comments that you might have. Second call for anyone that wishes to speak. And third and final call.
John, a motion to post public hearing.
Motion and a second to close the public hearing. Is anyone opposed to the indefinite time period?
Anything else?
Okay. If not, then I would entertain a motion for conditional use 2608 for the short-term rental at 811 Reading Railroad.
Craig, I make a motion to approve conditional use 2608 short-term rental.
Second.
Motion and a second. If you'll do a roll call for me, please.
Curtis Ramsey,
Yes.
Tony Davis.
Yes.
Greg Langford,
Yes.
Devin Murphy,
Yes.
John Chesson,
Yes.
Brandon Swoboda,
Yes.
Beth Seifert.
I'm a yes as well. Thank you. Good luck. All right, next on the agenda is also a public hearing, and this is for rezone 2607 Magnolia Landing Phase 3. The request is from a R3 D to R3 single family. It's Merrill Avenue, 2.52 acres, and the applicant owner is Schuber Mitchell Homes. And with that, I would entertain a motion to open the public hearing.
Craig, I make a motion to open public hearing rezone 2607.
Second.
Motion and a second to open the public hearing. Is anyone opposed? Is the applicant here to give us an overview of what you're requesting?
So as you can tell, I'm not Henry, but I'll try my best. This is again from Magnolia Landing. We're asking to rezone from O3D to R3SF. It's my understanding that we're asking for the rezone. This is a condition of approval for our final plat. And it's one thing.
All right, Caleb?
Yes, so these are lots 116 through 126 within phase 3 of the Magnolia subdivision, Magnolia Landing subdivision. which is located at the northeast corner of South Tycoon and Bond Road. And all of these lots are located along an internal road, Merrill Avenue. With the final platting of phase 3 of Magnolia Landing, the developer stated they would like to build all of the lots as single family instead of some of the lots being built as duplexes. Due to that change, the extra utility service connections installed for lots 116 through 126 were removed. And that phase of the subdivision was platted for single family only. So we asked that they rezone those lots to R3 SF to reflect that only single family can be built on that lot and to meet the notes that are on the final plat. So the major roads in that area are South Tycoon Road, which is a major arterial with a right of way 90 feet for the master street plan. Vaughn Road, which is a minor arterial, or sorry, a major arterial with a right of way of 100 feet for the master street plan. And then Goodlet Road, which is designated as a major collector with a right of way of 80 feet for the master street plan. For utilities, these are all in a platted subdivision, which is served by Centerton Water and Sewer. The adopted comprehensive plan designates this whole subdivision as industrial. However, it was rezoned in, I think, 2021 to single family and duplex. So this rezone is not consistent with the land use plan, but the whole subdivision isn't consistent with the land use plan. So it's not making it less consistent than it already is. For the surrounding zonings and existing uses, the subdivision is in Magnolia Landing subdivision, which is largely zoned R3 SF. And then there are a few lots in phase 2 that were zoned R3D, but they were platted as single family or duplex, so they didn't have to rezone and replat the same way that we're doing with phase 3. So based on the surrounding development in this area, the request for R3 is compatible with the surrounding uses and zonings. I did list a few of the comprehensive plan implementation items. It's not technically consistent with those items, but as I stated before, this whole subdivision isn't. Can you answer any questions?
Does that impact the, like the standoffs or the property lines going from development, a duplex where they're conjoined to single family units? Does there have to be kind of space in between there? They are single family?
Like the buffer.
Like the buffer between the wall that they share?
They won't share.
That's more fire, I think, right? Because it was built as a duplex, right? That they all connect?
So this is duplex, which one lot, 2 units, 1 home. We have the twin homes that is 0 lot line, 2 owners that are attached, and it's 2 separate properties. Whereas this is 1 property, but 2 units, if I'm.
Okay, word.
The property line didn't have to change.
Okay.
And the setbacks of this.
I won't make you spell that out, Paul.
Run it back, Paul. I didn't get it back.
Any other questions or comments from any of the commissioners before we open up to the public? We are now open to the public. If anyone has any questions, comments, or concerns, we'd ask that you come to the podium. Same as before, state your name, address, and then your questions or comments. Second call for anyone that wishes to speak. And third and final call. And then I would entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
So move.
Second.
Motion and a second to close. Is anyone opposed? Let's go through what we need to consider. Even though this seems more like a paperwork thing than anything, we'll still go through what we need to talk about. The first thing that we're asked to consider that are up there is the rezoning consistent with the adopted comprehensive plan, including the adopted land use plan. And it is not consistent, as was stated that according to the plan, it was designated as industrial. Does anybody agree or disagree with that comment? Understanding that this was,
I would say no,
the whole
but
thing was rezoned.
I would say no, but the note that it's already inconsistent. The current zoning is already.
Yep, agreed. Is the proposed rezoning compatible with the surrounding area and zones? And it is compatible in what we see. There is R3 single family that's beside it. And then, of course, you got agriculture that's farther up. So I do think that it is compatible. Does anybody disagree with that? Would all the permitted uses in the new zone be compatible in this location and the surrounding areas? And I believe that the permitted use in this case, the single family, would be compatible. Does anybody disagree with that? Would the rezoning provide a benefit to this landowner but not be considered for other similar properties in this area? And I do not believe this offers up any one benefit for this landowner. Does anybody disagree with that? And there was no public opposition, questions, or comments. Any additional questions or comments from any of the commissioners? If not, then I would entertain a motion for rezone 2607 Magnolia Landing Phase 3, rezone from R3D to R3 single family.
John, I motion to approve rezone 2607 Magnolia Landing.
Second. Motion and a second. Christian, if you do a roll call for me, please.
Craig Langford,
Yes.
John Sessoms,
Yes.
Devin Murphy,
Yes.
Curtis Ramsey,
Yes.
Tony Davis,
Yes.
Brandon Shaboda,
Yes.
Jeff Seifarth.
I'm a yes as well. Thank you. Good luck. All right, our next public hearing is for the amendment of the future land use plan and map with new town center, also known as NTC, land use categories, and amend Title 14 to add section 14.04.15, new town center planned zoning district, also known as NTC PZD.
Say that again.
No. No. So I would also, as we've done before, I would entertain a motion to open the public hearing.
John, I motion to open a public hearing for future land use plan.
Second. Motion and a second. Is anyone opposed? Hey, are you gonna do that? Lorraine,
And Lorraine, you can chime in. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the land use plan amendment, and then we can go into the zoning that accompanies that. So we're working on a downtown study that includes a large area south of Centerton Boulevard, that whole orange area. And we're looking at amending the land use plan because our current land use plan only calls for that white box to be our downtown. And so we want to amend the land use plan to at least preserve the area that we're doing the study for, to more accurately reflect what we're trying to develop in that area. So with this future land use plan amendment, we designate that boundary and then we break it down into a few different categories. So that dark, like maroony red color is our Newtown Center core district, which is our central hub of the overall Newtown Center. And that should develop in a way that creates a local and regional downtown style destination with mixed use developments of retail, restaurant, entertainment, services, institutional, multi-use residential, and a central green space or town square that's pretty common with the downtown. So that's our most intense area downtown. And then the slightly pinker area just north of that, we have notated as the corridor district. One of the things we really focused on or are focusing on with the study is making sure there's connectivity between our new town center and our original downtown along North Main Street. So we designated that as our corridor district to connect them. So it's intended to bridge or connect the new town center to the city's original downtown. And that development shall include appropriate infrastructure and improvements to enhance mobility, walkability, and economic activity to create that connectivity. And then in the blue is the mixed use district, which is intended to provide a welcoming, connected, walkable urban form that includes primarily mixed and multi-use residential land uses to support the downtown core. Those commercial and institutional uses are featured throughout the overall neighborhood fabric and become increasingly urban in form at and near the intersections or as it gets closer to the downtown core. And then the orange is our neighborhood transition, which is the least intense, but still more dense than the typical single-family neighborhood that you would find in Centerton. So that ends up being kind of our buffer zone to transition back to that single family, but should still include primarily townhomes, row homes, and cottage court style development. Anyone have any questions about that?
No. I don't believe so.
Okay. So to accompany that, we said, well, if we're gonna have these new designations, if someone wants to develop their land right now after this is enacted, what are they zoning to? Right now, we don't have any good zoning districts to accomplish that. So we're proposing a planned zoning district, which is essentially a PUD on a larger scale. So they would rezone to this zoning and then propose what they're wanting to do within that zoning. So with each property that they wanted to rezone, they would submit kind of a loose concept with a schedule of uses that said, we want these items to be allowed. And then like a PUD, we would have room to negotiate as a city to say, if you want these things, we need to see these things also. So it just brings it as a forced negotiation for development until we can get zoning in place after our study is done. I have anything for that, Lorraine? How in depth we need to go.
I don't think,
So it's considered a subzone of the Centerton jurisdiction, right? It's like,
it will change the land use map and then it's going to identify that area. So that they would have to come in and do, they can rezone to an NTC PCD. On the, I was just noticing on our paperwork, it just has PCD and it should say NTC PCD. So if we will add that.
it's just a restricted district area. Like.
That zoning
See.
district to our other zoning districts like commercial,
Mhm.
single family and so forth. And set this criteria and it basically will work like a PUD. We'll have but it establishes and then it will get more fleshed out when the study is completed. And then we'll add additional criteria for each.
So what are we voting on specifically today? What is this over?
You're voting on amending the land use plan with the establishment of a new zoning district.
So
New use.
essentially, Brandon, every one of those parcels now on the current land use plan, you sit over there on the right, has its own little color.
Yeah.
We're basically creating a mini district inside the district. It
Yeah.
says in this district is one land use.
And
It's to keep from breaking away pieces of downtown.
yeah, I've
It's
got
not
that.
rezoning the property,
Yeah.
but showing it on the land use plan. So when they come to develop, we have the land use plan to see what we are hoping that it will be.
So the study that you want to do,
It's in the process and should be completed in August.
Mhm.
This is
But-
just an.
but would that study somehow, or I mean, let's say something happens in the study and possibly come back and go, well, what y'all voted on actually doesn't work with the study that we came up with. I guess I'm wondering, are we voting now for this or are we waiting for the study?
So
and
this,
Then vote?
So we're-
Public Hearings?
we're doing this right now because we need something in place between now and August.
And this is coming through what we have gone through so far with the study. This is what we've have come to this.
This is what we have at this point in the study, but the study's not complete yet.
No. Not with
So we're
all.
voting on this.
That study makes an assumption that you already have a district set aside like this. It's kind of hard to complete that study, to my understanding.
We'll have additional.
So has then the study been based off of the previous plan or based off what you're proposing that we do here?
It doesn't have anything to do with this, honestly. I mean, the study is independent, if you will, but working not only with staff, but also, there's public hearings, there's public comments and other stuff, so it could adjust a little bit. But I would say based on what I've seen, the overall probably won't change a whole lot about this. Which is a good thing that they're working with staff to try to understand, you know, what that looks like, but also without, you know, saying exactly what it should be, because we want the public input. So I think to hopefully put your mind at rest, once that's completed, let's say there's one piece that needs to change, then in September, we could always change it, or October, whatever we decide. We could always go back and amend this, like we've done some other things. But this is really to get us through until that study is complete, because the city's not stopping, the rezonings are not stopping, and so we need something in place to preserve what we're spending this money on for this new downtown area that we have a desire to have.
Otherwise, you kind of prevent yourself from having a downtown, because right now they can just say it's C3, I can do whatever I want, it's in C3. Without any, all the permitted uses there, and then you end up with a town of pawn shops.
This is our current land use plan, and that, all of that orange area right now, that's all like single family residential designated per the, or it's medium high, but it's all residential on our land use plan. So for the ones that are a little further out, like under that green space, if someone were to come in and want to rezone that right now, there's not a whole lot in our comp plan to say, no, don't do that. Or that's not what we want to see there, even though we're doing a study that says we might want commercial or mixed use or something there. Our current land use plan doesn't support that.
I think it's fair. I think it gives us an extra opportunity to say, yes, you want to rezone this land for X use, but it's inside this special district over there. Instead of eyes on it, because it is being to downtown, the long-term downtown.
Again, if I'm asking questions that don't pertain to this right now, you can just say, hey, we can talk about that later.
Oh, no.
But I'm also thinking about developers potentially that have been sitting on land waiting to develop, and they don't want to move on anything yet because we didn't have sewer. And they've been waiting a long time, and now we're gonna go and change it. But they've already bought the land thinking that they're gonna be able to do something with it. Are we gonna have any kind of laws in there or opportunity for grandfathered or negotiation?
And we're not saying they can't do that necessarily, but we don't have any groundwork today that kind of helps us and helps them guide what we're looking for, because the whole premise behind the study will also be the packet and the communication out to potential other developers. And I will tell you that the framework for the changes did involve some landowners, and it did involve current business owners. So I would say they didn't go do anything without having input from certain people that have an interest, if that makes sense. So some of that has been taken into account.
The other part of this is that with this area, we are looking at so much mixed use. And that's also what, you know, a lot of the landowners are kind of waiting on, you know, how do we develop this?
Yeah.
This provides them a way
A little
to,
more structured.
and then they can start working on that.
It's not left up to interpretation, right?
The public and semi-public no change area there, that was already a part of the plan?
Yeah, our land use plan already has them as.
Already had that?
Yeah. That's the fish hatchery and the
school.
school.
Yeah.
Same thing with that designated open space that's green, that's already designated.
Parks open space. Mhm.
That's a big flood zone that comes through there.
Right.
And the same thing happens when we go through our total land use plan. Same thing with the roads and everything else. You know, we look at the big picture instead of focusing just on whether a property is owned by a certain entity, individual, anything like that. I mean, we look at the big picture,
Sure.
you know, about where the city is going and what we need on any time that we look at the land use and things like that. And so it could happen at any given time whenever the land use plan is updated, or same thing with roads.
One more question and then I'll be quiet.
You're good.
No, ask away.
On Main and, at Main and Centerton, going across to the, old downtown area there, there's a pink and then there's a blue. What's the blue? Is that blue
You talking about this dotted line?
No, it's.
So the light blue, I think that's C2 or
mentioned that you had mentioned that the pink was, right? Didn't you say that in your?
that's
comment?
highway commercial. I think that's C2, C3.
It's highway commercial, right?
I'm like talking about the colors inside the blue line. The colors to the north of the blue line are I think the current zonings, which are commercial and then semi-public and, yeah.
Okay.
So when I said pink, I meant more like the, I don't know what you call that color.
Okay.
Just, yeah, magenta.
But all that current pink there, that's highway commercial.
Yeah.
It probably goes into like C2, C1 behind that.
Yeah.
Any other questions or comments from any of the commissioners before we open it up to the public? Okay, we aren't open to the public. For anyone that wishes to speak, have any questions or comments in regard to the future land use plan and map and the new town center planning zoning districts. And again, if you have any questions or comments, we'd ask that you come to the podium, state your name and any comments or questions that you might have.
Mark Pierce. Much more specifics and details are gonna come out of this study by August, it's supposed to be done. I mean, you got it pretty well designated for zoning, but how much, is there gonna be any more specifics out of that, or what are they waiting, what are they gonna see in addition in August to what they see now?
The study, and you guys can chime in as well. I mean, the study gets into more detail about connectivity, activities, ideas, I would say. So it contains like a picture maybe of what we might encourage people to build there. What else I mean, those are the three.
Those are the main things, but there will be public input meetings next week, on Thursday night from 4 to 7:30. And then there also at Wednesday at the farmer's market, there will be a booth with public hearing and also coffee with the mayor. And that is posted on the website,
What website?
the Centerton website. CentertonAR .us
or
still, I think, .gov. Still US.
If you just Google Centerton, it's the first thing to come. Yeah.
So is the additional information between now and August gonna help to determine how this is being used, or is this gonna just be somebody's renderings of this is what it could look like?
I'm not sure that I understand your question. I mean, what the study is doing is it's the guide that gives us direction, if you will, guidance, and not just us, but any prospective developer. And so, yes, it does have pictures. It has, here's kind of ideas, here's thoughts and how it might be implemented. That's exactly what they're doing.
So it's just renderings of what a possible.
Correct. But it also has street designs and walkability areas and how it ties into the northern part versus the southern part and east and west. And so there's a lot of other details that go along with that.
Think of it as a consulting for the ideas that have already been put in place for the land use. It's like a consulting agency to help you guide how to execute that plan.
But this basically is just a land use amendment, that this area
I understand that.
designate as the downtown core. And then the districts of what we would, like to see in those areas. Yeah.
So
That part's Fairly obvious.
It would be like a smaller version of our comprehensive plan where it's got the different items. So it'll have a land use plan, a master street plan for that area. It'll have implementation items on how we can get there. It'll make recommendations for what code we need to update. It won't necessarily update those codes, but it'll give us the roadmap on how to actually get the downtown we want. It'll be even more detailed than the general descriptions that are in this packet currently.
Like block links or parking, you know, downtown fund and things like that.
That's just gonna be suggestions. I mean, that all potential.
Right, this whole document is a guide, the same way that our current comprehensive plan is just a guide, and then we update our code to require that to match the guide.
Part of the reason why I'm asking is some of the stuff like, you know, you guys have been talking about running Buckhorn all the way over to the school and out to 279. That doesn't seem to be on any of these. Right.
But that's your street.
That gonna come in with that.
Yeah.
Part of the plan.
Yeah.
Renegotiate the plan to have your street plan.
Okay.
Thank you. Anybody else wish to, have any questions or comments?
And that's supposed to be done by August.
Yes.
Jason Hutchison, I live within the district. I was just curious, there's no definite timeline on any of this. What's gonna be built in there for sure, nothing like that yet.
Yeah, no definite timeline. This just simply sets the basis, if you will, for any developer that wants to come into that area and develop or anything like that. That's what this plan, along with the study, will provide that guidance and direction. And this just allows us to implement that guidance and direction.
I've lived there since 1993, and this gentleman over here touched base on the fact that there's no sewer. And there only been water for like 10 years, and we've lived there for that long without water. And we have well, but there's no sewer for us incorporating to build. I've been wanting to build for like 20 years, but I haven't been able to because we don't have any utilities to hook up to.
And the plan doesn't necessarily,
Come through with all that or no?
the plan doesn't cover anything in regards to that. It's simply just the guidance for what should be developed. So that's about all I can tell you.
To be fair, you can't
Yeah.
build the utilities without having a plan of what you want to build.
Correct. And I've
Have to have a foundation first.
Can't get to the point because I don't have the utilities there and it costs a fortune to bring them in. Okay, and so the building around is just, there's no set timeline. It could be next year, it could be 10 years.
Correct.
That's just a guide.
Correct.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
No, like I said, in order to build, you have to have the plan of what to build, right? So
Now, my son, we've got several different options and we just waiting for utilities, but now we understand that we'll be waiting longer. Thank you.
Anyone else wish to speak or have any questions or comments?
Might be obvious, but you're not changing any of the zoning and, okay,
Correct.
right now it's agricultural. So.
So establishing the new zoning district will not rezone any of the land within there to that zoning district. The property owner would have to come request this zoning district to change the zoning.
Final call for anyone who wishes to speak. And then I would entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
Don, a motion to close the public hearing for the future land use plan.
Second. Motion and a second. Is anyone opposed? All right. Any other questions or comments from any of the commissioners? If not, then I would entertain a motion for the future land use plan and map with the new town center, land use categories and Title 14 to add 14.04.15.
I recommend it to council for.
Yes. Thank you.
So moved.
Yes.
Motion and a second. If you'll do a roll call for me, Christian.
Devin Murphy,
Yes.
Tony Davis. John Sessoms,
Yes.
Greg Langford,
Yes.
Curtis Ramsey,
Yes.
Brandon Swoboda,
Yes.
Jeff Sci-Fi.
I'm a yes as well. Thank you guys for the work on that.
That's fine.
All right. Under other business, we have the planning commission bylaws, which these should contain all the changes from our last discussion. Is that correct?
Yes, so what we added was, it's in like the army green color, so when there's an expiring term, notice will be posted around town per Centerton Municipal Code, Chapter 7, which that's the code that says where around town we have to post it, so we're just referencing that code. So if it changes, we don't have to come and amend these also. And then we did the notification of absence shall be emailed to our email a minimum of 24 hours before the meeting. Notification of any work session will meet requirements as required by our FOIA. And then Diane added clarification. Any member recusing from a vote shall, before deliberation, step away from the commission table and shall not participate in deliberation or action on the request. And if a member chooses to abstain from a vote, not due to a conflict of interest, it is considered a no vote. It is best practice to always vote yes or no.
Any questions or comments from anyone on the updated bylaws? The 5 locations.
Pardon?
Specify the five.
It will be specified in the, in that chapter, but like we had 5 locations and like Harps was one of them. Now Harps is no longer open, so that's gonna have to be amended. So we just thought for keeping it simple, just reference that section of where it's required by the city to post notices.
We don't have to update them both.
So this is also a recommendation of council. Is it just us?
The councils.
I think that.
Who approved the bylaw?
So, yeah, you guys will recommend that this is what you want your bylaws to be.
Asking.
I don't think they're just gonna approve your acceptance.
Yes, it's not done by resolution or it's just by a vote. On acceptance.
So with that, I've entertained a motion to recommend these to be approved by council as our updated and current bylaws.
John, I motion to approve. Would recommend to cancel the updated version of the bylaws.
Motion and a second. Is anyone opposed? And thank you guys for the work on that. All right. Title 14, Schedule of Uses, review of revisions to uses in agriculture, commercial, and industrial zoning districts.
Looked at this about 100 times now, I think. I sent them out last week with all of the changes shown. This is just a double check. Do you guys have any other comments before we set a public hearing and publish?
All those thousands of comments have been put in and look at my look.
You agree, disagree? This is the time to stay.
It went through every single line. That's
Multiple times.
every line.
If you want to know what they were, we might be ousted.
Decided committee.
Okay.
Just waiting.
Just go.
I think we've gone over it with like some people out and then they came back and then another person went out. Like it's been like
I know, it's-
open door of you guys coming in and out of
It's
it.
been 6 months.
Yeah.
What are all of the blue squares?
Blue is where it was removed.
That was removed.
Yeah. Yes.
Thought that was probably true, but just.
Final call.
I don't have any other changes. I think we're good to set a public hearing.
News in the world. On it, team.
Will that be the first meeting in?
Make the meeting in July, yes. July 7th.
Are we having that one? We usually end up canceling that. We have a agenda for that one yet?
I think since it's the week after, we'll probably be all right.
Usually we always run into problems, right? At that first one.
I think since it's late this year, we should be all
Yeah,
right.
this one. And also, we
There will
have
be stuff on it.
we were just talking about this next meeting, that it was, do we have anything on it?
Not yet.
We don't have anything on the agenda for the meeting on the 16th at this time, so we definitely will need to have this.
July one.
I think we might have a few public hearings on the 7th, so. Yeah, you're right. We've got a couple of issues.
You guys will just let us know that Thursday before if there's no meeting. So there is a council meeting scheduled for the 9th. As was mentioned, over the next week and a half, 2 weeks, there is opportunity for input or comments in regards to the study. So if you get a chance to participate in one of those, I would encourage you to do so. Our next planning commission meeting is scheduled for the 16th. Just keep an eye on email. And if we don't happen to have that one, there is a thick review meeting on the 18th.
Review got canceled.
It is canceled.
All right.
We don't have anything on that one.
Anything else from staff? Anything from any of the commissioners? Then I would entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting. Motion and a second to adjourn. Is anyone opposed? Thank you, guys.